Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing a flip through of my Hobinichi cousin for October. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. So, starting with the yearly overview, I mean clearly do not use this section. And then the monthly section as well, I do not use this. I decorated it at the very beginning of the year with TCMC, the like annual kit from TCMC, and then I just haven't used it. And then moving on to the weekly section, which I actually do use. So where is October? Here. So for October, I had these date stickers from TCMC. I think this might have come with one of her like quarterly subscriptions, but it's like stationery slash office themed. And I just put it over all of the dates because I just wanted to decorate the dates. And there's also 31 days in October, and like she included 31 numbers. So I thought October would be a good month to use it so that I could use all 31 of the stickers. And then I've been using my monthly section in the same way for several months. Basically, I split it into different sections of things that I want to track. So we have highlights of the day, workouts that I did, cleaning, hobbies. This is social media slash video editing, meal prep, art, study, read, and reno for my house. And so you can see some weeks I don't track every single category, even though I obviously like do certain things every week. So for example, cleaning, I do like laundry and dishes and clean around the house every week, but this week I just never got around to actually tracking it. Whereas something like art, I have not been doing art for the entire year, but it's still something that I want to track because it's something that I would like to start doing on a regular basis. I just haven't gotten around to like making it an actual habit, but it's just here to help me track that right now I am not doing it. And yeah, this week though, I did do a lot of reading and I did track that. So there's a series called 天官赐福 or Heaven Official's Blessing. It's one of the most popular series in this genre called danmei, which is like Chinese gay romance, essentially. But it's so good. They have an animation of the first 2 books out of 8. They're working on the 3rd one, and there's also an audio drama of most of the series. And I'm fully obsessed with this series, and it's like my gateway drug into the entire genre. So now I am starting to read the other books by the same author, and I'm gonna start after I go through her books, I'm gonna go through books by other authors in the same genre. Like, this fully got me hooked. But yes, anyway, I put this little like post-it sticky note type of sticker from TCMC whenever I finish a book. So this is September 29th, but I finished the first book September 29th, and then on the 3rd I finished the second book. In between, I also read The Summer Hikaru Died, number 3. It's a manga about, it's kind of like a supernatural, paranormal, like mystery type of thing, but it has undertones or themes of queer and like boys love type themes, but it's not really like, it's not actually a romance. It's more heavily on the mystery and paranormal activity type of story, and it's also really good. I would recommend this And there's an anime too if you don't want to read the manga. But yes, I read that. And then here, this is a sticker that I just got from Temu, but it is of Xilian from the series. Oh, and in terms of highlights, I went to see the Stardew Valley concert on Saturday, and then Sunday I celebrated the Mid-Autumn Festival with my family. Then the next week, again, I didn't track cleaning. I find that when I'm not using my journal every single day, the cleaning section often gets ignored. And then here I just have another sticker of Heaven Official's Blessing, because I read the 3rd book and I started the 4th book this week. I also read 2 more books from the summer Hikaru died. And yeah, here I also have as highlights, I went to the restaurant, the waiting room with my husband, and then pull Xavier's birthday memories. So this is a video game that I am playing. It's only for like iPad and Android, I think. Like, it's only available on the Google and Apple stores. It's called Love in Deep Space, and it's definitely like very much geared towards girls. It's basically like a romance fantasy otome game, but I am fully obsessed, and it was Xavier's birthday event. He's one of the characters in the game, and I got his birthday memories. So yeah, that was one of my highlights. And in terms of hobbies, this is also where I track like shows that I watch. So here I watched What If Season 2 with my husband over the weekend, and I also started this anime called Sasaki and Miyano. It's a cute romance. So yeah. And then for we're already in October. The next week, I went bowling with my office team, and then Friday was actually Xavier's birthday. I was planning to do like some special thing for his birthday, but I didn't have time. And then my friends had a wedding shower, and on Sunday, this was very, very fun. There's a cafe in Flushing called Dimension Pop Town that does themed like menus, and they theme their entire cafe off of a certain license, and they change it up every couple of months. It's a fairly new cafe. I think they opened in the summer of this year, and so their license was with Heaven Official's Blessing up until November 1st. Now I think it's an anime that I don't know, but it seems very popular still. But yes, we went to that cafe and I had an absolute blast. I was living my best life. And I also went out for bowling and dinner with my family. Here again, this is Xilian from Heaven Official's Blessing, and I also finished book 4 and 5 this week. And yeah, you can see my obsession with this series throughout the month. The next week, I pulled Silas's Myth. This is again in my video game. Silas is like one of my favorite characters in the game, and like you have basically memories with with each character that you pull, like kind of like a gacha game. So like you pull for memories, and then there are certain ones called myths that are like essentially about their backstories from a different lifetime, kind of. I'm not like fully explaining it right, but that's kind of the gist. So I pulled his myth. Silas is a dragon. So yes, it was fun. In terms of other things that happened, on Saturday, my husband was craving IHOP, so we went there for dinner, and of course, he got pancakes, and I went to the International House of Pancakes to get salmon. Yeah, I got salmon at IHOP. But surprisingly, it was really, really good. I would actually recommend their salmon. And then we also watched Naza, which is this very, very popular Chinese movie on Netflix. It did very, very well within China, and I think it's the highest grossing or one of the highest grossing animated films in the world. So, yes. Here, I also use this little like post-it note sticker for whenever I post a video. So here I posted my Hobinichi haul. Yeah. And then I finished reading book 6 of Heaven Official's Blessing. And then for the last week of October, I finished reading Heaven Official's Blessing. Like literally, I finished book 7 and then I finished book 8 the very next day. And then I started reading Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, which is another popular series from the same author as Heaven Official's Blessing. And then here, I was originally planning to film and post my August and September flip through of this journal / planner on Tuesday, but then I got sidetracked, and so I just drew an arrow to here, and I just wrote filmed Friday, posted Sunday. It is what it is. Other things that happened this week, my Adidas order arrived. I ordered 3 sneakers because they were all on sale for super, super cheap. I think they were like $30 to $40 per pair of shoes, which is crazy. And yeah, that was the weekly section of October. Oh, and I forgot to mention on the side here, I write down my goals for the week, and clearly I don't do it every single week. You can see the first 2 weeks I didn't do it, but I try to do it. Usually when it's blank, that means that I didn't really use my journal for that week. Anyway, moving on to the daily section now, the meat of this. So on the first page of the month, I just write a really quick summary of what happened that month, like the highlights. So earlier in the year, I did a whole thing where I did wins, losses, and highlights. But for several months, I just fell off of doing it. Like September's blank, August is blank, July is, I think, also blank. So for October, I decided to keep it a little more simpler, and I just wrote the books I read, movies I watched, TV shows I watched, restaurants that I went to, and then some of the main events that happened. So with the date, so like I went to the Stardew Valley concert October 4th, Mid-Autumn Festival celebration October 5th, etc. And this just gives me a really, really quick overview of what happened this month. I also, of course, tracked the events that happened in Love and Deep Space, the game that I play. So I wrote Xavier's birthday and Silas Dragon Myth rerun. And I wrote down the videos that I posted. And then October 1st, I wrote down my monthly goals here. So you'll see, I mean, if you watched my videos before, you'll know that like I call it successful if I complete half of the goals of my month, because I always overshoot. So yes, this month I completed 5 out of 9 goals. So I think that is successful. On the 2nd, I was basically writing about some like daydreams that I have, which are like totally fanciful and delulu and whatever. So I just put this little memo note over it to cover up my journaling because it's a little embarrassing. And then this day I went to Kinokuniya, which is like this Japanese bookstore. It's a chain, and they have 2 locations in New York, I think, and they have some other locations across the US. But I went and got a few books, and I'm a member, so I get 10% off, and I just put the receipt here. And then on Saturday, we helped some of our friends move, so I just journaled about that. And then in the evening, I went to the Stardew Valley concert. And on Sunday, we went out for dinner with my family for the Mid-Autumn Festival. So I just journaled a little bit about that and what happened that day. Then Monday, Monday was the actual holiday Mid-Autumn Festival, and so I just wrote about the little celebration with my husband that we had, which is basically just a wholesome but like good dinner. And it was just, a lot of it was food that my mom gave me over the weekend. So it was really good, and I was very thankful for that. And in the video game that I play, Love and Deep Space, they are from China. Like, it's a Chinese company that makes the game. So there's a lot of Chinese holidays that they include in the game just under a different name, because this is like a fantasy universe. So for the Mid-Autumn Festival, within the game, they call it Moon Appreciation Day. I think it's called Moon Appreciation Day. Actually, I forget what it's called. But anyway, they include the holiday in the game under a different name. And so here I'm just writing down all of the little cute interactions that we have for the holiday within the game with each of the characters. So, oh, here it is. It's Sarah Moon Day. So that's their fictional holiday within the game, Sarah Moon Day. And the general gist of the holiday is very similar to the actual Mid-Autumn Festival. So yes, it's kind of cool how they included that within their games. And yeah, I just decorated it with a bunch of stickers and just literally copied word for word conversations from the game. And then on Saturday, here I was talking about the audio drama for Heaven Official's Blessing, some of the scenes that I was listening to off of YouTube. And then we went to the waiting room, which is a restaurant, and I tried their carne asada wrap, which was freaking amazing. I would definitely highly recommend if you are in New Jersey, the waiting room. And then we started watching What If on Disney Plus, which is like the series about hypotheticals that could happen in an alternate universe within the Marvel universe. So yeah. And I also wrote that I pulled Xavier's birthday memories today. So this is a little sticker that I got off Etsy for Xavier. He's canonically horrible at cooking, which is why they drew him burning food. And also his entire thing, he's like themed around the moon and the stars, because he's supposed to be from a different planet. So I have these stickers from Peppercut Studios that I put here. Then the next day, Sunday, for dinner, we went out to a restaurant, Kinya Ramen, which was really good. I started watching Sasaki and Miyano, and we also finished What If Season 2, and I gave it 3 stars. Season 1 was definitely 5 stars. It was amazing. And Season 2 was just all right. It wasn't terrible, but it definitely did not live up to what I expected based off of Season 1. It felt like they were more experimental with Season 2. Like, the writers kind of just had more playing time, so it felt like the season wasn't as cohesive as Season 1 was. But anyway, October 13th, my corporate office went to bowling. And I got 47 points, which, if you know anything about bowling, is absolutely terrible. So yes, I did terribly, but I actually was not the lowest score in the entire office. One of my coworkers got a 46. And then here, Xavier's birthday event. I literally just copied word for word some of the interactions that we have within the game with Xavier, and I decorated with a bunch of stickers and washi tapes. Most of these are from Temu. And here I read/experienced Xavier's birthday memory, and I just wrote about that. It was very beautiful. So I enjoyed those memories. Then here, this is when we went to Dimension Pop Town with their themed cafe, and I wrote down the receipt of all of the merch and the food that I got. I spent over $200 or close to $200 at the cafe based on like food plus merch. But it was worth it. I was very, very happy. And my friends had a wedding shower, so I just wrote about that. And it was also my dad's birthday, or we celebrated his birthday this day, but his actual birthday is October 20th. And then on Sunday, actually, Sunday is when we went to Dimension Pop Town, but I put the receipt over here for some reason. It's fine. And then here, this is Hua-Chung from Heaven Official's Blessing. I bought this set of stickers from Etsy. I forget what the artist name was called, but I think if you just search up like Heaven Official's Blessing or Tianguan Sifu sticker, it'll show up. But this is part of the set of Hua-Chung eating the bun with Xie Lian thinking about the bun. Yeah. And then Monday, this is when I finished reading book 6 of Heaven Official's Blessing, and it tells like one of the backstories of Xie Lian, his like white cloth calamity backstory, and so I just wrote about that. And yeah, this like specific story is kind of possibly the hardest read within the entire series. It's just very, very sad. I mean, his entire backstory is very sad, but I feel like this arc specifically gets people like in the feels, because he suffered a lot. So yeah, I just wrote about that. And then October 21st, this was Silas's dragon myth. So this is a sticker of Silas as a dragon, and I just wrote a little bit about the myth. Oh, and at the top, this is like stuff that I needed to do for work. I had so much to do that I didn't want to mix it up with my actual to-do list. Like I have work here, and I put down the general things of what I needed to do, but then I wrote down a more detailed to-do list of what I need to do over here, because there was just so many little things that I didn't want to forget about. Then the 22nd, we went out for dinner again. And then this receipt is from the 23rd, but I went to Kinokuniya again to get merch from Heaven Official's Blessing, because I saw on their Instagram account that they had just received a stock of Heaven Official's Blessing merch. Believe me, I had been looking for merch before and they didn't have anything, but now they do, or they did. I think they're out of stock again. But yes, I went and got a bunch of merch. So yeah, this is stickers of Hua-Chung and Xie Lian, and then this is more Hua-Chung and Xie Lian. And then on the 23rd, I did lots of journaling about little things. So here I got a drink from Bunny and Bro that I wrote about. It was very good, but it was so ridiculously expensive. I would not recommend Bunny and Bro. unless you're like rich, where spending so much money on coffee is fine with you. And then I was stressed about work, so I just wrote about that. I ordered a bag that was themed, like the theme of the bag was Silas from Love and Deep Space, and so I just wrote that I was very excited that it came. I tried squatting 2 plates, and I actually did 3 reps, so that was very exciting. And then the flooring for the basement arrived. Then on Friday, we just went out to eat, and I did like some random journaling, like, good morning, it's almost 8 a.m., whatever. And I went to bed around 8 p.m. and I originally only planned to lay there for a while, but then I got tired and fell asleep. Yeah. Oh my God, I literally slept for 12 hours. I forgot that I did this. I fell asleep at 9 and I woke up at 9 the next day. And then here, I forget what I journaled about, but I think it was probably something embarrassing, so I didn't want people to see. And then on Saturday, we went out to IHOP, and we also saw Naza on Netflix, which, fantastic movie, gave it 5 stars. And here, I unboxed my Hobinichi order, and so this sticky note was part of my order. And so I just stuck it in here, and I did a little bit of journaling. I said that I forgot about all the fun goodies that I bought. And the freebie is a little robot, which I absolutely adore. I love the little freebie that they have this year. On the 26th, my husband's brother, it was his birthday, and so we, plus a bunch of his friends, went over for a surprise party, and I didn't journal about it. I just wrote Dimitri's birthday surprise party, and that was it. And then my order from TCMC arrived, so I just swatched the washi tape, which I absolutely adore, and the sticky note set, plus this is obviously a sticker, and this is the stamp that I got. Then the 27th, I didn't have much to write about, but I did write about the next event in Love and Deep Space. It was idol themed, and when I first saw it, I really did not like it, but it eventually grew on me. So yeah. If you play the game, you'll know, like, a lot of people that play the game thought it was super, super cringe when it first came out, but it obviously grew on people. And then here, Spaghetti by La Seraphim is so addictive. It's a K-pop song, but it's just very addictive. It's such an earworm. And so I just wrote, Spaghetti by La Seraphim is so addictive. Then Tuesday, I really did not have much to write about. Wednesday was a skip. Thursday, again, didn't have much to write about. And then Friday, the Love and Deep Space event Polar Night came out, so just wrote about that. And then for Halloween, this is our first year having Halloween in this neighborhood, and so my husband was so excited to hand out candy to people, to trick-or-treaters, and we literally only got 1 ring at our doorbell for the entire night. So my husband was extremely disappointed. But yeah. And then here, I was studying Chinese, and like, I made flashcards of words that I got from a book, and these were the problem words that I had. Like, no matter how many times I reviewed these words, they just would not stick in my brain. So I wrote them down here as well. And that is that for October. Moving on just quickly to the very end, where I write down my favorites of the month. So October, very easy month. I just wrote Heaven Official's Blessing or Tianguan Sifu, which, I mean, that's very obvious, as you guys saw, plus Kinokuniya. I went to Kinokuniya like 3 or 4 times. And the waiting room, because we went to that restaurant twice and it was really good both times. And yeah, that is my flip through for October. Let me know in the comments how October went, and since we're almost done with November, how your November has been going. And yeah, I will see you in the next video, which will be my November flip through. Bye.